There's a heron.
Oh wow.
A bit further along. That was built during the millennium. That lights up at night. So I look at you on the side, or don't you mind? When I was a boy, we used to come on holiday by trains. Came to the station. It closed in the 1960s, I think, along with hundreds of others in the country. To save money, there was a man called Dr. Beeching, a politician, Labour politician. A good way to save money. We closed hundreds of stations.
The blue conical monument Christopher had previously pointed out to me was replicated at a smaller scale less than 30 meters away, behind a well-trimmed hedge that separated the memorial space from the mini-golf area. If Bude and Stratton have officially been the towns the furthest away from the English railway network since the closure of their respective train stations, Bude was not ready to sink into oblivion and had proudly taken charge of its own iconicity. Isolation has its downfalls, but it also means that no external narrative is imposed from the outside, and Bude was free to create and sustain its own narrative from the inside. This narrative seems to be made out of colorful, low-tech means. And celebrates the seaside landscape that surrounds Bude by recreating some natural elements that compose it, with precision, but also with a touch of fantasy.
Yes, so inside here, so this is kind of our bouldering section, so obviously like our low rope section. Years ago, we used to take kids and abseil down cliffs, but we can't anymore due to erosion. So yeah, so this is obviously our, like, where rope should be in our rope climbing section. You come in, and basically you go through loads of tunnels. There's a hatch just by there, and then this one leads to this one over here. This is like a climbing wall in here. Come up there, so like climb up, and then through there. This hatch leads to this hatch over here, and then basically there's loads of tunnels underneath us.
He explained that the tunnels were too narrow for adult bodies, and the only way to pull the kids out were through these hatches. I wonder why there's like vacuum areas under it.
Probably just wear from the sea, just like erosion, everything, wave damage, yes. Those are the train tracks, yeah. There's only little trains.
We found him on the street. He was homeless. You want to record him? based on the erosion of the seawall, which has been happening for the last sort of 150, 200 years. And there's a lot of different opinions of what's right and what's wrong, but this area is now designated as an SSSI site. That complicates any sort of construction work.
Dave went on to explain that what he called the ecology had historically taken away people's natural way of doing things. He then proceeded to lay out his strategy to repair the seawall from coastal erosion. Thanks to new radar technologies, he could detect the underground voids that were being caved out by the sea because of how the tide was coming through the joints of the seawall's infrastructure. They would then start to fill these voids by injecting polyurethane into them. Once injected, it would solidify. It was from there on fully contained and was not going to move. The polyurethane was for him a durable and permanent solution.
The sea has allowed itself to, the sea, nature takes over. Ultimately, nature will deal with whatever it wants to deal with. So, man tries to deal with nature. Holland do it better than most countries because they're below ground, below sea level.